Welcome back to the Red Dice Diaries, and this is a video response to Sean Connor, the Outsider 68's video, 8 Ways to Gain GMing Confidence. It's an excellent video and I highly recommend you watch it. There's some great tips in it, and I'll put a link to it down below in the description to this video response. Now, there's a few things that I would add to Sean's list, and the first one would be fake it till you make it. It's a well used and probably slightly trite phrase. I think it's early sort of 20th century or something, and it may or may not be related to something that Aristotle once said, where he said, in order to become virtuous you must practice being virtuous. And it basically means if you want to be more confident in gaming, life, anything like that, you first have to act like you are confident. As Sean quite rightly says in his video, confidence breeds success and further confidence. Once you're on a roll, as it were, it's very easy to keep that momentum and keep going. However, if you're always sort of hanging back and not really allowing yourself to think that yes, you can succeed, that initial step can start looking like a huge mountain that's far too difficult to climb over. Whereas if you start off with the attitude of yes, this is something I can do, I've just got to go out and do it, then getting over that initial small first step isn't quite as hard. And once you're over that, the next step is less hard, and so on and so on, and you can just keep that train, that momentum going. The second thing I would add is to game with as many different people and as many different GMs as possible. It's very easy if you're just doing all the GMing for a group, and I've fallen into this trap myself back in my early years of GMing, to become very blinkered and just focus on one way of doing things, the way that you think is right. However, I've been lucky enough over the years to play in games run by many different people, including Sean himself. I'm enjoying his Warhammer game very much at the minute, so he can take this praise that I'm giving him. And I think that there's an awful lot of people, from Sean, Jenny, various people in my face-to-face group, that I've watched GM, and there's always a few things where you may be seeing a slightly different way of doing something, and even if you think, well, that's not perhaps the way I'd have approached it 100%, there's normally a few little things that you can take out of it that can add to your own game. You can, more sort of weaponry you can add to your GMing arsenal, more techniques, and basically the more choice you have when it comes to what techniques you use, what strategies you use, how you present your game to your players, the better, since having too much choice when it comes to GMing is never a bad thing. The next thing I would say is, if you're a GM, just be a little bit easy on yourself. As Sean's video rightly says, it's very easy to brush off any positive feedback you receive as just people blowing smoke up your backside or not really meaning what they say, whereas it's all too easy to look back and see only darkness and the things that you've done wrong in your game. But as Sean's video says, people wouldn't compliment you without reason. If they weren't enjoying your game, they wouldn't turn up, they wouldn't keep playing it, and they certainly wouldn't be giving you compliments. And this relates to my next point. If you do have a bit of a bad session or a bit of a slump, which everyone does every now and again, no one's at their best 100% of the time, don't see it as a failure or that you've let your players down. Your players, if you are normally running a very good top level game, your players will understand that everyone has a bit of a tiresome day, or maybe they're feeling a bit run down by work, or things in real life are getting on top of you a bit. It happens to all of us. Your players will understand that. So don't beat yourself up about it, but look at it as an opportunity to learn from whatever mistakes you did make, so that in the future you can correct those mistakes, or you can know how to handle them better, and you can actually use it as an opportunity to improve future sessions rather than letting it drag you down and letting it sort of spoil the fun for everybody. So those would be my pieces of advice to add to Sean's excellent videos. And above everything else I've said, I really would stress that gaming with different people in different GMs is a great thing. You can take aspects from their GMing style, and they can also take aspects from your GMing style. And at the end of the day, the more ingredients you put into that melting pot, the more ideas you put in, the more knowledge and the more depth you have to draw on, the wider the range of palette that you're going to paint the picture of your game with, and the better your game will be as a result. So to summarise, fake it till you make it. If you want to be confident, start by trying to act confident. Game with different people and as many different GMs as possible. There's always something you can take away from other people's sessions. 3, go a bit easier on yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you do have an occasional slump or a session that's maybe not 100%. And 4, if you do have a bad session, see it as an opportunity to improve your game and step your GMing up rather than letting it drag you down completely. So this has been my video response to Sean Connor's video, 8 ways to DMing confidence. Again, there's a link down there. I hope you'll go and watch Sean's video, and that if you've liked this video, you'll click on like and subscribe to the channel. We bring out new videos every week. And until I see you next time, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again. Take care.